Oh, stop touching me. Stop it. Get your dead hands off of me. Stop putting your dirty ass hands on me, bro.
Dirty blood.
I dare you to watch this episode back. If you can watch this episode back and tell me that you don't think that this has been embarrassing, then you're high on meth. You won't shut the up.
You're lying.
I don't want to bet. Shut the up with that.
And then you shut the up.
Oh man, praise the Lord. We are back. It's your brother GRLA Hebrew. And I told y'all I was gonna start coming with some more no jumper reactions. I think I'm gonna call this series the rebound. You feel me? You know, gorilla with the rebound, something like that, man. Cause you know, if you ain't got no jumper, that ball gonna hit the rim, and you know, big man in the paint, I'm gonna go ahead and get that rebound. You feel me? So yeah, this is the second installment of the rebound with, again, your brother GRLA Hebrew. And we're going to take a look at this thing, man. Munchie and Adam had a good reunion today. You know, I was very happy. I spoke to Munchie the other day. I asked him, and I knew the nigga was capping. Well, he ain't capped to me, but you know, he kind of played a little oblivious. I'm like, man, what's up? You going to go back up there? He like, I don't know. Now, you know, he might not have knew. And shout out to Munchie, man. That's my bro, man. You know, it's a Manchester thing, man. It's a 3400 thing, man. But, you know, he's being an instrumental figure at No Jumper. And again, like I already expressed, I'm an avid consumer of, you know, No Jumper content, you know, so I know who I like and who I don't like as contributors there, especially with the absence of Brick Baby. That creates a vacuum and a huge gap on, man, who's going to be there contributing, especially on that Tuesday show. And, you know, Munchie B as well as Young and Hefe have been instrumental, man. Love their contribution to the platform totally. And if you ask me, Munchie B was emphatically MVP of 2025 on the No Jumper platform. That's just my opinion. But look, thankfully, we got to sit down between Adam, between Munchie. Of course, my boy Lush One, he's there as well, who had definitely, I say, is the most improved player of 2025. And definitely had a pretty good run the last couple months and turning up, man. It's all good, man. Things is looking up over there at the No Jumper platform. But yeah, so I just want to take a look at a few key things here, a few key takeaways from the sit down that Munchie and Adam had tonight. And, you know, of course, featuring Lush Uno. It's a couple key things and some stones I want to turn over or not leave unturned, rather, in regards to analyzing the initial confrontation that kind of led to this explosion, led to Munchie stepping back for a second, because there's some things that, you know, that need to be said. Everybody want to scandalize things all the time, you know, and oh, this mark out and that, and it wasn't none of that, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, this is a company, a corporation. A lot of y'all don't understand how serious of a corporation No Jumper is, man. When you first go in there, I done had to sign release forms. Now, if I go, boom, they hand me the tablet. They already know, oh, it's GRLA Hebrew. He's already signed. He's good to go. You know what I'm saying? He signed his release, so that. But it's a very serious operation, and it's a place of employment for, you know, Munchie. And when you put things in that perspective and stop putting everything in the perspective of the streets, you begin to understand truly the dynamics of that situation. But there's some stuff I definitely want to break down from that. So let's key in here on this clip. Let's start with this clip first.
You know what I'm saying?
I totally get that.
Because I know I was faded over, did it? You know what I'm saying? I was poking, but I'm gonna tell you this though. Like I watch it back. Hey, stop touching. Hey, stop. I'm like, okay, the first couple, hey, stop touching. I'm like, okay. But after I'm like, man, maybe he was performing after a while.
Now, it's funny Munchie would say that, because honestly, I was watching that live. It was crazy because it was so long. I cut it on, right? I was watching it. I fucking around and dozed off watching that live. I woke up tripping like they're still on. I was tripping. It was damn near 5 hours at that point. And so I start back watching it. And then I see, you know, the confrontation unfold. Now, I'll be honest, as a viewer, Munchie definitely, he overdid it, as he's already admitted. Accountability. You know, we ain't got to keep rubbing that in on Munchie or nothing like that. But I'm like, damn, Munch is doing a lot. Adam is looking a little frustrated, but when Adam started like turning up, I honestly felt like he was performing too. Like he was just like, fuck it, like we just gonna go content over everything, and it's gonna be funny if I just do like. I didn't think he was sincere, and I even think watching it back again, and we're gonna take a look at it. I even think watching it back again, some of it might have even slightly been kind of performative, but it was coming from a sincere place. Like he was expressing sincere frustration, and then eventually, like it wasn't a performance anymore. Like, all right, man, you asked for the bullshit here now, type deal, right? Let's take a look.
Man, you talking about drunk Munchie?
Yes, because you're being drunk as annoying as you're touching me and you won't shut the up.
Bro.
So when he said that, like that first part, I'm knowing that's coming from the heart, right? That's coming from the heart. Then when he said you won't shut the F up, it's like, now I feel like he might be playing into it a little bit for the content.
Bro,
I'm just saying.
Bro.
I'm trying to get through the donations and you won't shut the up.
you go.
Like that scream right there, I'm watching, and again, I understand he's frustrated, but that little yelling outburst, that raise in the voice, I feel like he performing right there. You know, I especially feel like it when I initially watched it, for sure.
Donations.
Because you keep talking about yourself every single donation I read. You turn it into a 10-minute monologue about yourself, talk about some random shit, and then you start touching me with your dead skeleton hand.
And then like when he said the dead skeleton hand. Now granted, Munchie was doing everything he just said, right? He was. And at that point, Adam is just saying what the viewership and the fellow hosts are thinking. Let's not get it twisted. But I feel like the little turn up he just did, like I felt like it was for content, right? That's all. Like he's fucking, I'm gonna make a clip out of this. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking, right? So let's go back to Munchie speaking on it retrospectively.
Oh no. You know what I'm saying? After a while, maybe
he really didn't
it's-
like that shit. I promise.
No.
I don't
In the beginning, it's like, all right, hold on, you poking me, nigga. Like, you feel me? But like I said, you just got to take a step back. You know what I'm saying? And then I already know it's gonna be reactions. This is how content go, and everybody be having a week. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I didn't. I wasn't looking at a lot of reactions because I don't want to respond negative. Because I know I shoot back. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't like clicking on none of that shit though. I clicked on like Hoodie Hood. You feel me? I clicked on
I'm sure he had a brilliant take.
Okay, so yesterday I was.
The Hoodie Hood shade was crazy. Shout out Hoodie Hood. But yeah, so apparently Adam, it was very, very sincere, Adam's reaction. So I want to go to another clip here, and this was like the biggest thing that stood out to me in the initial interaction, the initial explosion that occurred. And it was a talking point of Munchie after the fact. FLAKKO weighed in on it as an additional witness, etc. So this was an interesting part, and it reminded me of another incident that Adam had in the past. So let's take a look.
Definitely. Yeah. Okay. So what else do we have to say in order to wrap up the conversation about the Munchie B leave of absence? Where are we at?
How do you feel, Munchie? Like,
will we be seeing you Tuesday? Is the real ultimate question.
hold on. I want to clear this up. When you went on your don't touch me rant, you literally was what'd you say? What's the word white people use?
oh, my body, my choice.
No. You was like word for whatever. Basically like complaining or some the shows got canceled last year. That's a lie.
Let's take a look at the exact quote in the moment where that happened, because Munchie calls BS on that, and FLAKKO substantiates that Munchie really had some indifference when there was a cancellation of the show that they had, FLAKKO, Munchie, and Spiderlock. And that was at a time where Adam literally fired all staff, canceled all shows, canceled the news, everything, right? So they slimmed down the entire operation at that time. So it wasn't nothing personal targeted to them whatsoever. Pretty much just a No Jumper show and the Adam and WACK show, and then the Remos and the Bricks and FLAKKO, they was able to do interviews. So that's basically how No Jumper was operating for a while until they brought the news back, right? So let's take a look at the exact moment actually as being referred to, because this is something key right here.
Like you asked.
Y'all see what he did? Adam, my boy, don't get it twisted. But look, this is what I want to key in on. Watch Adam right here.
Subjects.
Bro, I'm trying to get through the donations and you won't shut the up. Like you,
I'm about to slow this down. Let's go back to, all right, watch this.
shut the up. Like you.
You see what letter and what sound his mouth was getting ready to make? That B team. He was getting ready to say, you begged to be on the platform. That's what he was getting ready to say. Adam, that's what he was getting ready to say, right? He stopped himself. He's going to repackage it, but he's essentially still going to say the same thing. Let's watch.
You asked so many times to be on this podcast. You were so mad when we stopped doing your other podcast before, and then you reward me by showing up this drunk, and you won't shut the up.
Now again, Munchie categorically denies that was his response to the cancellation of their show. And again, Poetic FLAKKO affirms Munchie's indifference to the cancellation. In fact, Munchie even expected it due to WACK, even though that's not why it was canceled. It was Spider-Loc that was hella bummed out. Y'all remember him making an ass of himself drunk in an interview with Brick Baby, interviewing G-Face, giving G-Face the end and all that madness. It was Spider-Loc that was in a damn depression over the cancellation of the show. Again, Munchie and FLAKKO affirm he was indifferent. But Adam's going to clarify, and I understand why Adam said that. I'm not even knocking Adam for necessarily saying that. This is a natural human response here. Adam's going to clarify exactly where he was coming from and what he meant when he said it. Situations that are high stress like this, sometimes you kind of say things not in the exact way you mean it. It's a natural response to a stressful situation, right? It's called emotional driven memory distortion, right? It's not quite confabulation, you know, because confabulation is like extreme, but you do this, people do this. We've all done it when we're upset and we kind of exaggerate what we're trying to say to prove the point out of frustration and because of the stress, because we're so, you know, dead set on proving our point, and we're so upset in the situation, our emotions are so intertwined. Human beings do this, right? We've all done it. Niggas gonna get comments, oh, that's important. Everybody do this shit, right? Emotional driven memory distortion is when strong feelings, positive or negative, alter how we encode, store, and recall memories, making them less accurate, creating false details, or exaggerating importance. That's kind of what happened here, an exaggeration of importance, often focusing on central elements while blurring peripheral ones, leading to flashbulb memories or distorted narrative shaped by current mood and beliefs, especially with high stress or trauma. That's all that happened. But when he did it, it reminded me of another epic time where Adam did something similar. And let's take a look. Y'all remember this? House Phone and Adam, right? House Phone and Adam. Let's take a look. Adam does a very similar thing here.
About if what the fuck you tried to do, Adam. It's about what happened, bro.
And yeah.
And then let's move forward to that bullshit ass apology you gave when you're on the fucking news. You're talking about, yeah, he's been going through the mom shit. He's been going through the health shit. You're talking about the person that fucking raised me, that birthed me, my best friend that died. Oh, just he's been going through the mom shit.
But you are you actually acting like I have some kind of disrespect for your mom when
You're
I fucking
disrespectful as fuck.
I paid for the fucking
First of all-
funeral as soon
first
as
of
it
all-
happened just because.
This was another time where Adam did the same thing. Now, as it was clarified later, Adam, I think, gave like 5,000, which is no little bit of money, and that was real nigga shit to do, real friend shit to do. But because of the intense nature of the situation, the stress of the situation, right? That emotional driven memory distortion turns $5,000 into I paid for the funeral. Now we know ain't no funeral just costing $5,000 in this day and age. Funerals are much more expensive than that. But $5,000 still was a very major contribution to the funeral expenses and or whatever costs were related to what he had to incur as a result of losing his mother, taking over bills, etc. We get that, right? So in that moment when a motherfucker's stressed out, boom, 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 sometimes you may distort truth through exaggerating its importance. That's all that happens, right? And again, I'm not highlighting this on Adam to single Adam out, to say Adam did, you know, Adam's just a fucked up person. No, motherfuckers do this. This is the only thing that happened here, you know? So it's not something that he just intentionally wanted to berate or paint Munchie in any way. It's the stressful nature of that situation led for him to distort through exaggerating the importance of him putting them on the podcast, or in the case of House Phone, him contributing to, you know, expenses when his mother passed. That's all it is. And again, I've done shit like that. And if y'all niggas out there watching is being honest with yourself, we've all been in heated back and forths. And because of the stress of the situation, said something that was true, but distorted it and exaggerated it to try to prove our points, to try to get out of the stressful situation. That's all. My fault if I went a little too deep on, you know, the psychological analysis, but I just felt like that was a key thing. Now, Adam here is going to clarify where he was coming from when he made the statement, right? Let's go.
Okay.
That was a lot,
Okay,
bro.
yeah, so
I might have overstated it, but all I was saying.
It's not a lie. It's an overstatement. Again, now, when we look here, emotional driven memory distortion, these aren't lies, right? I think it's gonna, like encoding, emotion tags memories as important, enhancing focus on central details, but increasing susceptibility to false peripheral details like who said what, stress hormones amplify this effect, strengthening some parts while weakening others. Consolidation, storing the memory. Emotional arousal during an event solidifies the memory, but its emotional tag can be reinterpreted later, changing the memory's perceived significance over time. Meaning, we know Spider Loc was crying about it, but since they both was on the podcast, boom, now it's Munchie. You see what I'm saying? It was the memory was consolidated. Right? Retrieval, recalling a memory. Your current emotional state influences recall. If your mood matches the original event, recall may be clear, but a mismatch can distort the memory to fit your current feelings. That's it. Intensification, events seem more significant or consequential later than they were at the time. All these things, right? Fading minutes, all this is regular shit that human beings do. Not to, again, dive too deep into the human psychology, but I think it's just important. This shit, it does tend to happen. But again, Adam's gonna clear it up here, and what he's gonna say makes perfect sense. We should all understand that. And everybody needs to stop blowing this shit out of proportion. Sit back, relax, and enjoy No Jumper for your viewing pleasure, because as much as all y'all be talking shit about it, you niggas be watching that shit religiously. Let's be for real.
Basically, like complaining or the shows got canceled last year. That's a lie.
Okay.
That was a lie,
Okay,
bro.
yeah, so
I might have overstated it, but all I was saying in that moment was that I knew we had at least one conversation about the fact that you were not stoked on the fact that the show with Spider got canceled after 2 episodes or whatever. Like, you know, obviously you were kind of hyped to have like made it to having a show on No Jumper, and that last 2 episodes, it's not really your fault. It's like totally unrelated to you.
Mm-hmm.
That was all I was saying. And that I felt like by you getting blackout drunk and that was maybe not taking advantage of the opportunity.
That's simple. And it makes perfect and total sense. And again, in the intense exchange, in anger and frustration and stress, memories get distorted and get communicated in ways that focus on certain aspects of it and blur what's called the peripheral details. Right? Now, enough of the psychology lesson. Now, I'm just GRLA Hebrew now. I got to give y'all some Bible. And these are some key verses, just some takeaways for how this situation could have been handled retrospectively. We know hindsight is 2020. And I'm gonna go to just two particular books in the Bible here to make my point before I sign out. And these are books of wisdom, right? Because some people may be like in the case of even though my man Adam said God and Gumby, we know he's atheist. People may have different ideologies, beliefs, philosophies, and that's cool. These books are about wisdom. Okay, you got Buddhist books about wisdom, you got the art of war, etc. Wisdom is universal. It don't matter who it's coming from, what culture, what religion, what ideology. This should be undeniable. So let's just look at this, right? Proverbs, I'm gonna start at 23. This is from Munchie. I got one from Munchie, got a passage of the Bible from Munchie, and one for Adam before we go, right? Proverbs 23 and 29. Who have woe, who have sorrow, who have contentions, who have babbling, who have wounds without cause, who have redness eyes. So, hey, who's in bullshit? Who got problems? Who's running their mouth, right? Who gets into shit? They that tarry long at the wine, and they that go to seek mixed wine. People who spend a long time drinking, who drink for long periods of time. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth the color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last, it biteth like a serpent and stingeth like an adder, talking about elongated alcohol consumption, right? I'm gonna go to this verse in the NEOT, the next one, 33. You will see hallucinations and you will say crazy things. You will stagger like a sailor tossed at sea, cling to a swaying mast, and you will say, they hit me, but I didn't feel it. Did he kick my chair? Right? I didn't even know it when they beat me up. When will I wake up so I can look for another drink? So, it's just telling you, because, people in the Bible was drinking, man. Jesus himself was drinking, but you got to watch it when you're spending a long time, like I say here, spending long hours in taverns trying out new drinks. Got to watch that, right? Now, this for Adam. Now, this is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiastes 31 and 31. I'm going to read it in the NARBE, man. And it say, do not wrangle with your neighbor when wine is served, nor despise him while he is having a good time. Say no harsh words to him, nor distress him by making demands. When somebody's drunk, it is not the time to be trying to correct them, wrangle with them, fuck up their good time, and say harsh things to them, right? So where Munchie went wrong is drinking too much and too long, right? Where Adam went wrong was trying to correct him after he was that deep in inebriation and intoxication. It was no getting through to him. There was no fruit of that. Adam really should have just, once he seen Munchie was being overbearing and he was too drunk, either asked him to step aside respectfully and had a conversation the next day after he had sobered up, or simply just in that long ass stream, even though it was a good stream minus, Munchie's drunkenness, just cut the stream. You see what I'm saying? When somebody's drunk, that's not the time to be talking to them, to try to reason with them, to try to correct them, etc. That's just not the time. And again, this is universal wisdom. Who can argue with the fact, whether you believe in the Bible or not, that it's not smart to fucking drink all day, and it's not smart to try to have a logical, rational conversation and expect an intellectual exchange with somebody who has been drinking all day. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, so with that, I'm going to sign out. Hope y'all learned a little something in the realm of psychology and the Bible. This isn't necessarily going to be the nature and the tone of every reaction I do. It's just going to depend on what happened. It's going to dictate how I react. But hope y'all enjoyed, learned something. Definitely like the video, sub up to the new channel, and I'll catch you on the rebound for the next No Jumper reaction, as well as my other content. Man, I'm GRLA Hebrew. Praise the Lord. I'm out.